What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and it's more than likely going to be a very crazy time, not just in sports, but in modern times. It feels like I've been parachuted into another universe. I don't know if a lot of you lads feel the same, but this coronavirus situation. A lot of people are saying this is like a film or this is like a movie. To me, it's not like that, because it's not a movie, is it? I mean, this is real life, unfortunately, and this is a very weird and bizarre situation. Something that I honestly never thought I'd ever experience in my life, and obviously, it's something that a week or 2 weeks ago, if someone had told me that the whole country would basically be on lockdown, sport across the entire planet would very much be postponed, and pretty much the whole world very much on lockdown. All the major countries have all got measures in place to try and combat this virus, which hopefully in the next month or two does decease, but more than likely it won't, and more than likely this postponement of daily life, of what we want to do, of all our ambitions, of all our sort of goals, our hobbies, our interests, will be pushed back for a long time, unfortunately. Any holidays we had planned, anything we had planned. But look, listen, let's not bow down too much into the negativity. I'm sure all you lads have seen it on the news. I'm sure you were hearing it from your family and your friends, which I hope, by the way, everyone is doing good. Anyone who watches this video, I hope all your loved ones are doing great. And of course, yourself as well. Thankfully enough for me, nothing serious so far, nothing to worry about. But what I thought I'd do today was make a video in regards to the GAA and this whole coronavirus situation, because obviously it's something that not a lot of people have spoken about. We know that obviously in the Premier League and NBA and all these other major sports organisations have shut down. There's been talks that some football leagues and soccer could cancel. There's been talks, and basically be void, be as if this year wiped from the history books. They've been talking about that in NBA. I have some close friends living over in Canada, and I know that they have informed me that hockey is likely to close down, although Canada hasn't been as widely affected as some bigger countries so far. But obviously the GAA is, it's not a major sports organisation. It obviously only exists inside Ireland in terms of it being played at a highly competitive level. But of course, it did shut down. It's shut down until March 29th. The National League has scrapped all its games up until then. Of course, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think is going to happen, give some sort of solutions to this crisis within the GAA, obviously, and what they might be able to do in regards to the rest of the season, the National League, the All-Ireland. Talk a bit about a couple of things that will probably happen, and I think the first thing we will really dive into is what will happen to the National Football and the National Hurling League. Still, I think three games left, 3 league games left, along with league finals. Of course, in hurling, still a couple of games left to go as well. You still have some semi-finals and quarter-finals to play, and of course the National Hurling final. Still had a couple of matches down on the lower divisions as well. So what is the GAA going to do, and what is going to happen in regards to those matches? Of course, this is widely out of the GAA's control, obviously. For me, in my opinion, I feel like this situation is probably going to go on. I think it's going to be May until we really see Ireland really go back to normal. And the reason why I think that is because I think it's cases are going to continuously go up, in my opinion, until April. And then I don't think it will be mid-April until things go back to normal. And even when things go back to normal, it all depends on the status of other countries as well. Because if the UK still continuously increasing cases, if other sports organisations are still shut down, if there's still widespread panic amongst the globe, then of course it wouldn't make sense for Ireland to just go back to normal, because it would be likely that in a couple of weeks we could end up in the exact same position. So for me, I feel like it's going to be May at least, and that's a best case scenario before we go back to normal. Could be mid-May, it could even be June, in my opinion. So obviously, what does that mean for the GAA itself? Well, it means that no football, in my opinion, no hurling is going to be played up until May, which obviously leaves a huge doubt in most people's minds for the National Football League. Now, a couple of solutions that they could do, they could finish the season as it is now, and actually play out the National League finals for the teams that are in their current positions. So obviously Galway and Dublin, I believe, are in the top two, or maybe it might be actually, let's have a quick look at that just so we can make sure, but I'm pretty sure it is Galway and Dublin in the top. It's actually Galway and Kerry, so it's not Dublin. So Galway and Kerry at the moment, say for example, top of Division 1, so they would play in the National Football League final. Now obviously, is that fair? Of course it's not. Of course it's not fair. It's not fair on Tyrone, Dublin, Donegal, Monaghan, who all still have games there and still could potentially play in the National Football League final. But I do feel like it's the best solution, in my opinion, because what else are we going to do? Are we going to have time to play out those games? If we play out those games in May, let's say, for example, then the All-Ireland gets pushed back to June. You know, we're going to really confine a lot of the fixtures. But of course, this is the first solution I'm going to propose. I will talk about other possible solutions and other possible outcomes, but this for me would make sense originally. It would be harsh on the sides getting relegated. Mayo and Meath, for example. Obviously Meath are already relegated. You know, no matter what would have happened, if the games had gone ahead, they still wouldn't have been able to pull back that 5-point deficit. Mayo, say for example, harsh on them, of course. We all know they have a status in Division 1 where they've never been relegated, I believe it is, since, I think, is it the 90s, or they've never lost a Division 1 football status, or there's some crazy record there. I can't quite remember what it is, but they would go down. And obviously you look down to Division 2, Clare and Fermanagh, Armagh, Roscommon would play in the Division 2 final. You go down to Division 3, Cork and Longford, which again, obviously Cork, I think they're getting promoted anyway, but I think Down and Derry would be the two sides who wouldn't be very happy with that at all, because obviously Longford, you know, they lost recently. I mean, to be fair, the fact they're in second is quite an achievement. And again, harsh on Leitrim, you know, 3 points on the board there, still have a couple of games to go, and they're currently in 7th position. So obviously, to be honest, I think no matter what you do in this situation, it wouldn't be fair. But obviously, given the circumstance, given what's going on in the world, it's not about being fair. It's not about being, you know, having the right authority, or having, you know, the right sort of salute. You guys know what I mean. Like, in other words, in this situation, there's much bigger problems going on than the GAA Football League, and I feel like if we were going to end the National Football League season, this would be the way to do it. Of course, something else that's been proposed, well, not by the GAA, but of course by fans, and I've seen it from a couple of different pundits, is that the National League should be just scrapped altogether. It should be void. I'm not too sure how that would work, considering we are obviously operating the Tier 2 Championship structure. The only thing I could possibly say is that we revert back to the old format of the Championship for this year and postpone the Tier 1 and Tier 2 Championship until 2021. Now that does sound like a better solution. You know, you completely scrap the National Football League, you write it off. Would counties be too bothered by this? I think the lower league counties would be. You know, I think you're looking at sides like Leitrim, Louth, Offaly. You're looking at Wicklow, Sligo, Limerick, Antrim, counties like this that would certainly not be happy with this decision. Of course, Limerick wouldn't be. I mean, Limerick are top of Division 4 at the moment, about to potentially create history in their footballing season. But what can you do? You know, if you can't play the games, you can't play the games, and maybe that would be a possible solution. As I was saying before, we could revert back to the old championship model, the one that was before the Super 8s, very similar to the one we have now, but it wouldn't be not necessarily similar to the one we have now, but similar to the one that we had last year, of course. And you know, no Tier 1, no Tier 2, straight knockout football. I've even seen some suggestions that there be no backdoor, which again, I mean, it depends on this situation. If this situation is clear by halfway to May to June, I feel like we can do the back door. But of course, the National Football League would probably have to go, unfortunately. You know, a shortened championship season, as I was saying. No Super 8s, which would be a shame, because I feel like the Super 8s has been a lot better. But depending on how the time schedule works, if they do want to fit the entire championship into the same sort of time period and end it in September, then the Super 8s might have to go, unfortunately, which is a shame. But of course there would have to be no Super 8s. Something else to take in mind, lads, would be that New York and London will more than likely not feature at all in the GAA again this year. London have obviously played a couple of league games already. They, you know, if the league does resume, you can almost guarantee that unfortunately London will not play again, just because obviously the situation in the UK is far more different. It's a lot more worse. So yeah, unfortunately I don't think they would play. And obviously New York, obviously we've seen that Donald Trump has put a travel ban on Ireland, and rightly so. You know, we obviously want to restrict travel as much as possible, and obviously, you know, New York, unfortunately, I can't. Was it Sligo or who were due to go to New York this year? But unfortunately, they won't be. They won't be going to New York. That definitely will not happen. So yeah, lads. I mean, they are a couple of solutions in terms of the National Football League. It's not great, is it? I mean, it's you know, I'm almost driving myself insane at the moment. In regards to not having any sport whatsoever. I mean, it's I've tried to watch loads of series on Netflix, and you know, I've kind of been down that route, and unfortunately, you know, I'm kind of, you know, finding things to do. I'm luckily enough for me, I can work from home in my job. You know, they sent me home and I can work from home, which is great, because obviously there are a lot of people that are not in that position. I do feel sorry for a lot of the healthcare workers, and you know, a lot of the people who work in grocery stores and stuff like that as well, and of course a lot of self-employed people as well. You know, this is a very difficult time for those type of people. I'm just trying to have a look here at some more news in regards to GAA to see if there's anything else that I haven't covered. But you know, obviously Jack McCaffrey put out a message. I seen that earlier, where obviously he's working in the healthcare industry himself. So best of luck to him. But yeah, lads. Of course, you know, if I was to talk about my ideal solution for this year, it would be to play the National League finals, to promote the teams that are in the current position. So you're talking about the Division 4, Division 3, Division 2 and Division 1. You scrap the Tier 1, Tier 2. Obviously, you play it in the old format that we had last season and the season before. I think it's possible, if we're trying to fit all the games in, that we don't play the Super 8 Championship. We revert back to the old school system. Of course, this isn't ideal, but if it means we get a championship, if it means we get Gaelic football, and it means we get hurling, then so be it. And of course, hurling would have to go back to the old school format as well. Obviously, the hurling championship and the Leinster championship would, yeah, I mean, they would have to go back to the old school format and not play out those league matches, unless there's a huge turnaround and this virus goes away really quickly. But I don't think it will be. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. So yeah, lads, I did think I would just give a little bit of my opinion in regards to this situation. Hopefully this does go away very quickly. You know, hopefully we can be talking about GAA football and hurling soon again. I'm still going to be dropping videos over these next couple of weeks. Obviously, I'll have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm probably going to make videos maybe on some matches in the past and kind of go over some memorable moments in the GAA. And I don't know, if anyone has any ideas in the comments below, let me know. And you know, I'd be more than happy to make a couple of videos. I have a video that was already made about David Clifford. I made that video like about a week ago, but I haven't uploaded it yet because I felt like I needed to make this video first. But yeah, lads, anyway, this is going to be the end of the video. My name is Aaron. Do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Let me know down in the comments below. Normally I say let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the game, but obviously, yeah, lads, obviously stay safe, stay well, and hopefully this situation blows over. But yeah, I will catch you all in the next video. Good luck.